Alright, so right now the car is on park. You notice the water. Now I'm gonna put it on drive. You notice it now. You can hear how much the car shakes. Put it back on neutral. Goes away. Put it back on drive. Neutral. Reverse. That's back on park. So you can tell that the motor mounts need to be replaced. So I bought a motor mount kit for this car. Here it is. It was $66.95 from Amazon. So you don't have to go to the parts store. You can get it online pretty quickly and pay less, a lot cheaper. Make sure you check Rock Auto, eBay, Amazon, see where you can get your parts cheaper. Right there in the front of the car, you can see it right there. Here's the other one. You see how it's cracked. That one's shifted. So we're replacing all of them. These two are the easiest ones to get through. I'll show you the other ones once I lift the car each side up and put a jack stand under there. That's where I have set it. There's lifting points out there on the bottom. There it is. Jack stands. Harbor Freight. Cheap. Jack from Harbor Freight. Cheaper than others. Set up. What you want to do is get you a 2x4 block. Put on your jack like that. And you're going to put it under your oil pan on your engine, so you can start removing the mounts. Alright, make sure you got good tension on it. And start removing your mount. Dog bone looking mount. Keep in mind the bigger end goes towards the front of the car and the smaller end goes towards the back. I'm going to use a 14mm ratchet wrench. It doesn't have to be a ratchet wrench, it's just way quicker. Also, got a 14mm socket. You can use a 3/8 ratchet. I got an impact, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. For the next one, you're going to use a 17mm socket, 3/8 drive with a 3/8 extension, and just make sure it clears your exhaust manifold. Get your ratchet on there. Of course, I got my impact. Alright, you have to remove the bottom cover bolts. Go ahead and zip them all out, 10mm socket. Alright, I got half of the cover off, not the whole cover. But you go ahead and get your 14mm socket on there. And get you a wrench, hold it from the top and zip that bolt out. One broke loose with the impact, the other one's tight. Before I try a 1/2" impact, I figure I'll show y'all at home how to break them loose if you don't have an impact. So you have your breaker ratchet here. If you don't, you can use your regular ratchet if you don't have that one. I just got like a 7/8. Just pick a big wrench and do it like so, and then push on the end of the wrench, and it should break loose. Remove that mount. Go up on the jack that is under your oil pan. Lift the engine up. See the engine going up? Should take tension off of this. See that? It's loose now. And take this mount off. Alright, need to keep on going up. Gotta wrestle it out of there. See, that bolt just fell off. Alright, so that's number 2. Two out of 2, 2 more left. Doesn't move at all. Move that boot. See that boot's all cut and wore out. That's not gonna take any vibration. And then this is tight. So put that back on. Get your new one. Go ahead and install that one back on. Make sure you leave your bolts loose so we can move on to our next mount. Remember how you pulled this out? Go in with it the same exact way. Try to line up the bolts best I can. Pretty much put them back in there, but don't tighten them all. Alright, so the next 2 mounts, you gotta remove both front tires. So get you a flathead screwdriver, roll this cap off. Same thing on the other end. A 21mm socket. Using my impact, you can get a cheap air impact at Harbor Freight. Doesn't have to be an expensive one, or you can just use a ratchet. But if you use a ratchet, you might have to put the car back down and loosen the lug nuts up first, and then put it back up. Socket. Millimeter socket again. Remove this cover. This mount, transmission mount, right here. (14-inch wrench, 14mm wrench, and 16 to break it free. Just got a 16 wrench, put it over like that, just break them free. Alright, so before you take the last bolt out, make sure you put your jack under the transmission pan and put some tension on it. Those two bolts there, they're gonna suck. You don't have too much space. So what I did, I got 2 1/4-inch extensions, a 14-inch socket, 1/4-inch drive, and a 1/4-inch ratchet, a little small one. And I got me a cheater pipe, any kind of pipe that will fit over your ratchet. Basically just put it over your ratchet. Just put it over your ratchet and loosen up, and that'll break it free. Those bottom plugs, I stuck a flathead screwdriver in there. We're just rubber plugs, so just stick that in there just to pry them out. And they're out. We gotta get those nuts. And there should be 14mm. Alright, so here's this one. You see that? Old, weathered, cracked, new one, stiff. That's why you want to replace all these at the same time. So this one's number 3. Second hardest one to get to. The next one, this one's going to be the hardest and the most time consuming. So let's get this one in first. You see the difference? That one's pretty even, and there's like a little ear sticking out on the other side. This side goes towards the front of the car. Alright, so make sure you have it facing the right way. See how that's different. Use nuts off, washers. Facing the right way. Now we're gonna get stuff in there first. Try to work it in there. go. So you want to get your nuts on there, leave them loose, don't tie them up, by the way. The new nuts are 15 millimeters on my kit. Yours could be different. We came out with 14 millimeter. Now these are 15 millimeter. So you just want to go and put both of them in and just kind of leave them loose. You just don't want that mount to come off whenever you let the transmission down. Alright, so you want to let the transmission down slowly. Hopefully those bolts line up. I don't see what the purpose of this bolt is. Must be for a different application, but we're gonna put it on anyways. Alright, make sure you go back and tighten all bolts, and this mount should be complete. On to the next one. The top bolt and nuts from the shock and the spindle. It's a 22 millimeter. Alright, so I have to use a big 1/2 inch breaker bar and a cheater pipe to get that last one out. It was on there pretty tough. Mount, which is the rear one. You want to take your little clip off. Bend them as straight as you can. Should just pull out. This just comes right out. Alright, so you want to remove this. I believe it's like a 33mm, but I'm using an 1 3/16 12-point socket, because this is all I have. You have to remove 3 nuts from the bottom here, 19mm and 14mm. Make sure you put a 14mm wrench on top on one of them. After I removed the CV axle, pulled it off of here, pulled it out, I went ahead and put some zip ties on there to take some tension off these lines so they won't be strung on there. And I'm hoping that I can remove this without taking any more bolts out of this assembly. I don't want to take it all apart. So we're right on to moving the CV axle. These snap rings, you have to get you some needle nose from the top and squeeze them together and pull this snap ring out. We're gonna pull this whole axle out. Alright, so this is the ring that I was telling y'all to remove with some needle nose. And to get this shaft to break loose, all I did was get a pry bar and I hit it from the inside like that. Just hit it until that breaks loose. Don't pull these bolts out. I thought they had to come out, but they don't, so I'm gonna zip those back in. Alright, so now that that's out, you can get a better view of what we're trying to get to. If you see that rear mount, the CV axle goes through it, which is a real bad design. I believe they changed it in the years later. This sucks. Before you pull this shaft out, don't forget to put a pan under there. You will have a little bit of fluid leaking out right where the shaft break loose from the transmission. I got tension back on the engine. Got a wooden block in my jack and got some tension under the engine. Now we gotta get the whole mount bracket out. So I'm gonna start taking those bolts out from the bottom and from the side. And I also have to remove the bracket bolted onto the engine. Right, so there it is. Looks like 4 bolts, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. Then I have to go in here, remove that nut and those nuts to get that off. Alright, so there's the rear one, the worst one, hardest one to get to. You can see it takes a while to work that out. And you see how damaged it is. Here's the new one. No kind of play. So you can get this mount right here. You can get with the mount already pressed in. You can buy the whole thing. It's about 120 bucks, I believe. I bought the whole kit, remember, for like 66 bucks. So if you don't want to take it to a shop to press this one out and put the new one in, just buy the whole bracket that already has one pressed in there. Just keep in mind it's a lot more money, but that's up to you. So I'm gonna get this pressed out and put the new one in. See, that's gonna pretty much toast. Shops will charge you a lot of money to get to this one because obviously it's hard to get to. It takes a lot of time. But you know, if you want to save money, just do it yourself. Just make sure you got it, you know, a couple days. If you're a beginner, I'm sure somebody that does this every day can do this in a couple of hours. But you know, I kind of save the weekend and a couple days to, you know, make sure that I can get it done. I don't have a time frame really, since it's the first time that I'm doing this. But see how bad that is. No wonder that engine was vibrating real bad. See that? Alright, so here's the new mount already pressed in. You can take it to any auto mechanic shop that has a press to get it pressed in. Here's the old one. You can see how bad of a condition it was in. So now we go back in the same way we came out. Last and the hardest one is on. The hardest one is on, finally. Now I just gotta get the axle back. That one's back on. That one's tightened down. Make sure you go back and tighten all the mounts. And I already got that one. I'll put it back together. All 4 mounts are done. So there you go. Anybody that has all that vibration. Here's the first test drive. Y'all remember the water bottle, right? This is that park. This is reverse. You remember this is how it was at park before? Now this is that park. And this is reverse. And this is drive. You can barely feel it kick in. You can't even hear it anymore. How awesome is that? Don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, and I appreciate y'all watching. God bless you all.